Today we're gonna do a little brand new how-to. Me and little Graydon are down here, and we've got this Suzuki King Quad 4x4 750 AXI, and we are gonna do new CV axles all the way around. These babies are starting to click, make noise when you turn. We gotta get this baby ready for the hunts coming up. So we'll get going on this baby. So we've got this apart. I'm just gonna show you guys what you need. So this is a 27 for the axle nut, and you've got 17 millimeter to take the wheel off, and then this nut and the tie rod is 14 millimeter. Once you get all that apart, usually what you do is you come in here, once you've undone the ball joint, you just come in on the side and hit it with a hammer and it'll pop it right loose, usually. And then to be able to get the axle out, I use a pry bar and come in from the side, put it right on there, and pop her out. And I've already popped it out. Just want to show you guys. There's actually a tool too. These are pretty good. I get a little. It gets a little scary if you're bringing it in and it's pushing on the case. I don't really like to push too much on an aluminum case. If you've got a good shot and it pops out real easy, you can use these. I like using a pry bar to where you're not pushing on the case, to be able to pop the shaft out and not pry against it. And another thing you want to do is you always want to put a little bit of grease on each side. So you want to put a little bit in here. We're just going to slide in a little bit around the end. Give it a little extra lubrication. Never hurts. I don't get too much on there, but a little bit goes a long ways. The next thing we want to do, I've already kind of matched them up, but you always want to pull them out and completely match them up and make sure that you are 100% putting the right part back in. You want to match up the ends and the other ends look correct. So we'll go back up in here. Put that baby in there. You want to twist it, start to get it in the spline. lot of times you can just pop it, or we'll use the rubber hammer to get her to start. Just like that. When you hear something go from a hollow sound to a solid sound, you always want to stop. Anytime you're hitting anything, when you hear that solid sound, it's done. So now we have to put this shaft back in. Just a little bit. She's a little bit tight, dude. So make sure that it seals good. Double check. Yeah, seals good. Yeah, that part's good. And you just go back in reverse order. So put that back up on. Get the nut. And these actually have a washer. So make sure that you catch that washer. What I like to do is I do this one first, tighten it, and then you can move this either way to be able to get the cotter pin in, and then do the steering arm last. And then there was one bolt here for the brake, and then we'll be putting this back on. So there's a washer right here. This has kind of a bendable tab, but the original one had, it's got a hole with a cotter pin, and the nut, so you're not going to bend the tabs. All you're doing is using that as a washer. So we will tighten this. This doesn't need to have to be super tight. You just want to tighten it up to where you can actually get the cotter pin in. It's just what we call Brandon tight. And that's pretty much it. So you'll tighten this, put a cotter pin back in that, tighten this, put a cotter pin back in this. Do the same to the steering. Put the wheel back on and move to the other side. So first, we got a 1 3/16 was what fit the nut really tight. None of my metric, a 32 was too big, 29 was too small, and I didn't have a 30, but a 1 3/16 fits really good. This nut is 14 millimeter. This side is 12 millimeter. I've already loosened these just to demonstrate. So all you're gonna do is pop that up, and then you're gonna pull that out and From there, what I do is I take 2 pry bars. You can push from here like I did on the front ones, but it didn't work out the greatest. So what you want to do is you could put one in the top and one in the bottom, and it is gonna bend that flange. You just don't want to go too deep because it can go into it. There it goes. Just like that. Pull it out, and then get the new shaft, and then just reverse the process. So now we're gonna put the new axle in the 750. I put some grease around there, a little bit around the threads. On there, on the threads here, or the spline, excuse me. And then right where the seal is gonna ride. So we are gonna put it back in. Put it back in the hole. You wanna center it. You can see when it's straight on. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to push just like that. So I don't want this to drop. And then we'll bring this up, push this down. Just be careful of the seal. Twist the hub, get the spline to go in. And then we're ready for a bolt, just like that. 1, 2, 3. It is a little bit hot down here without that AC on. I think I'm starting to sweat. So yeah, again, so 12 millimeter, 14 millimeter, and then you're gonna tighten the nut, and then you're gonna put the cotter pin back in also. You just want it snug, just not super. I don't have a torque spec. I have it right here. So that concludes the brand new how-to on the 750 Suzuki King Quad. To be tuned. Like and subscribe.